Now we are the crossroads. On the Femo, Baba. Yeah, oh, Fanny, we just sing a lot. Oh, Fanny, my sister, you have a tongue. Oh, me, oh, Jamaica, Jamaica, Boggy,
well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the broadcast. Another privilege to come to you with updates on the state of the revolution. I want to say good evening to all of you watching from Ground Zero. Those of you watching in Njikwa, in Ngi, in Batibo, in Lebialem, particularly in the somewhere near I know somebody's watching there. So many people are gathered there watching there. Those of you in Indian, in Kupe Maningoba, in Bakosi and Womb, Fundong, Noni, Bali, everywhere in Ambazonia. I always consider it a privilege to come to you each time I am here. So please, good evening and welcome. And of course, I cannot forget all of you in the diaspora who are making this revolution a reality. We may not be there yet, but we are getting there. That is the message I bring to you today. That we may not be there yet, but we are indeed getting there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have made a lot of progress. Tremendous progress in 3 years. Last month made it exactly 3 years since we got into this war that we didn't plan for. But again, we have made tremendous progress, and I just like every one of you, wherever that you may be, to know that. So ladies and gentlemen, that is where we are. I'm glad to be back here with you. I like you to, as usual, for those of you watching on Facebook, please let us populate the platform. The moment you give me the usual 700, I will be glad to come to you today with these broadcasts proper. So for those of you who are already here, please go ahead and hit your share button. Go ahead, hit your share button. Let us, as usual, within 5 minutes, populate this platform. I got a few announcements to make while you populate the the platform. So go ahead and do that. Let me get my monitor here ready for this. Okay, so please go ahead and hit your share button, invite Ambazonians wherever they are in the social media. Let them know I am alive and live on ABC Amber Television. All right, so let me get my monitor here. Okay. To come to you today. All right. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, please go ahead and hit your share button. Wow, the numbers are rising incredibly fast. We're over 400 already, with less than 300 to go in less than 2 minutes that I've been here. So please, let's hit the share button and invite and fill the platform up. I have quite a number of things to bring to you here. Again, I am here tonight to talk about the state of the revolution. The state of the revolution. We've had quite a number of interviews which I want to believe that have been very, very illuminating and educative and informative as to the direction of this revolution, and of course, the determination of the leadership of this revolution to take us to the prescribed end, which is nothing but an independent Southern Cameroon. I love it. I love it when I asked Alexander Lebenskin a few days ago about whether Ambazonian leaders, the ACT team, made it precise to him that Ambazonians want nothing but a free and independent Southern Cameroons. I like the answer he gave. He said they were emphatic. The leaders were emphatic about nothing else but an independent Southern Cameroon arising from any negotiation. How we get there, how we do it, is not the responsibility of the mediator. It is our determination, our insistence to see that going back to the root causes of this revolution, we're able to come out saying, this is where we were supposed to be, and we are taking nothing but that. So, we are on the right footing. Ladies and gentlemen, please hit your share button. The moment you give me 700 people, I will start bringing you this presentation proper. But as others join, I have a few announcements I like to take why others join. I want to particularly invite you. We're going to be having a big fundraiser here on November the 2nd. Donga Mantung County is organizing a huge fundraising to support for humanitarian purposes and to support work on Ground Zero. They're organizing that fundraising here. It will be live here, not here on ABC, but it shall be live here on ABC. And I really want to invite you, if you are from that county, if you come from Donga Mantung and you live anywhere in the diaspora, I'd like you to join ABC on Saturday, 7 p.m. Amber time. 7 p.m. Amber time. Join ABC if you are from Donga Mantung. And you don't have to be from Donga Mantung to participate. We're inviting every Ambazonian in the diaspora. Let us fraternize. Let us fraternize with our comrades from Donga Mantung who are doing or hosting this fundraiser on Saturday. It will be live on ABC. So please join them. Let us fortify them. Let us give those boys what they need, ladies and gentlemen, to run the show, to run the revolution in Donga Mantung. Let's do that. Again, that is on Saturday, November 2nd, 7 p.m. Amber time. Saturday, November the 2nd, 7 p.m. Amber time, right here on ABC. You shall be able to call and chip in your own widow's mite. $10, $20, $50, $100, $1,000. Let us lift up. Let us lift up Donga Mantung. Let me say something, ladies and gentlemen. I am at the receiving end here. You cannot imagine how many phone calls I receive from Ground Zero, from the generals, from the fighters, from the commanders saying, we've got nothing. We've got nothing. We need your help. We need you to take away these sticks from our hands and give us better ones. We need peanuts. That's what they are calling me. If they wake me at night, at the middle of the night. Now you got to understand the time difference between Ground Zero and the USA. When it is morning there, around 7 7 a.m. there or 6 a.m. there. I think it is still midnight here in Texas. So the moment I go to bed around 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., phone calls are coming in, and I'm telling you, they are calling me, they are saying, I'm a general from this, I'm a commander from this, we need the interim government's help, and often I tell them, please, your county is the first place. Your local government is the first place. You need to go first, and then your county. So what I'm trying to say here is, every county in Ambazonia needs to be empowered to be able to support adequately support these boys who are putting their lives on the line. So I'm saying this to say, Saturday, November the 2nd, let us show up on ABC on Saturday, November 2nd, to support a very, very special fundraiser for Ndonga Mantum. Again, you must not come from that county to support them. Let all of us come out and support our comrades in Ndonga Mantum. All right? I want to believe that you got that announcement. Then, I also want to remind you that our fund drive, the CID fund drive, compulsory independence dues, ladies and gentlemen, is going on. And every Ambazonian must, it's a must, it's not should, it's a must, sign up to this CID project. Because again, without money, there is no way we are going to make headway in this revolution. We have gone this far because of those of you who have stood on the gap with your money. Whether progress was made or not, accusations and counter-accusations, talks of embezzlement and whatever, you have continued to give, and you are the mature one. You are the mature one in spite of all that we hear in the social media platform about corruption, about embezzlement, and so on. Ladies and gentlemen, we will not allow our people continue to die because, there are some activists saying somebody is eating your money. The mature thing to do, as Comrade Tarzan Wilfred wrote yesterday, is just imagine if you withhold your money, which is better, to let those people die as we withhold our money, or to give our money so that even if, which I know is not happening, but even if somebody eats part of it, and part of it goes to ground zero to rescue those souls and to put equipment in the hands of those boys, which is better. So please, we must never renege. To continue supporting this revolution. We are urging every Ambazonian, everywhere, please go to the website www.cid.ambacitizens.com and register for your CID. So please, that is what we are using to finance this revolution, ladies and gentlemen. And it is important that you know that part of your dues, your monthly dues, go to support your county and your local government. So that money is not all coming to the interim government. It is going also to your county and your local government. And this is very, very, very important. We have called this compulsory levies because a time will come. The time will come, by God's grace, when we get to Boya, every one of us shall give an account of the level of support or the form of support they provided for this revolution. Because some people are not going to pay the bills, and some people will walk into it. All of us must make sure the bills are paid, the revolution is paid for. And if you do not pay, ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. If you do not pay, at the end of the day, we find out you did not pay. You will not go to Cameroon, to Ambazonia, to conduct any funeral. That's it. Don't say, oh, these people have come again. That's a fact. Somebody has to pay, and we must put these rules and regulations to make sure people conform to this. You will not be able to go to Ambazonia and conduct a burial. We have soldiers, we have policemen of our own on the ground, making sure that any burial is supervised. You will not go to Ambazonia and buy land. You will not go to Ambazonia and build a home. If we find out you are not. That is what is happening now. In all the counties, the restoration forces are instructed every new construction and every burial ceremony and every marriage put together from the diaspora, the people must make sure, the restoration forces must make sure the people coming there are supporting this war. This war is not for Chris Anu, it's not for Sako, it's not for the IG, it's not for the cabinet, it's not for the restoration council, it is not for a particular individual, ladies and gentlemen. It is for all of us. It is for all of us. Some of us are fighting this war today. We have no security, ladies and gentlemen. We have no assurance that we are going to live to benefit the fruit of our labor in this war. So, every one of us, let us, I am pleading with you, let us put in our widow's mite. Go to the website, www.cid.ambercitizens.com. Again, www.cid.ambercitizens.com. Register to pay your dues. That is very, very, very crucial, very, very, very important. So please, you do that, and let us put better equipment in the hands of our boys who are defending our territory and defending the lives of our families who are still on ground zero. Okay, that announcement is very, very, very important. I will keep reminding you, please, and I want to especially say thank you to all of you who have already enrolled in the CID Citizenship Independent Dues Project. Please, we want to appreciate you, and we want every Ambazonian, call every other person, remind them, let them go to the website to register. Just imagine if we have just 50,000 Ambazonians. There are millions of us, ladies and gentlemen, in the diaspora. Between Europe and the USA, we have close to 2 million Ambazonians. If we can get the minority, because it's always a minority carrying the lift, doing the lifting. If we can have a minority of only 50,000 Ambazonians who are chipping in $10 a month, $10 a month. Just imagine the amount of resources we are able to put in the hands of the fighters on ground zero. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much. I think we have hit more than 700 already. I know the announcements were a little bit longer, but let's get started. Right now. Let's get started right now. So I have a number of issues to bring to you. Number one, I am going to bring you details of ABC, or details about ABC Amber Club. ABC Amber Club. I will bring you some details about that. The other day I just kind of announced it in the passing, and I will bring you some details. There are some privileges to becoming a member of the ABC Amber Club, which I am going to churn out in a few minutes. Then I will also talk about some security issues on ground zero. La République du Cameroon is trying to, is churning out new tactics with which to kill our restoration forces. And I hope that many of you in the rural areas, especially the restoration forces, I hope that some of you or many of you are watching this broadcast, because this information is important. It's important to you. So I will be talking about that. Then I will also be talking about bringing you some update about lockdown, the indefinite lockdown that I announced about 2 weeks ago. And then, of course, I will be talking about the main subject of this broadcast, which is the alert. The alert, which I announced in the flyer that I circulated advertising this broadcast. I shall be talking about that. And of course, I shall also be talking about the event that is coming up. The event that is coming up in Sweden is very, 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 very important. That if you are in Europe, we want to make sure you are at this event in Europe. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to put on my headset to be able to hear my guests speak. So give me one moment here. I'm having Lady Marianta from the UK, who is here on set with me to briefly tell us about what this European festival is all about. Lady Marianta, it's a pleasure to have you, ma'am. Good evening. I know it's evening over there in London.
It is indeed. Greetings, Secretary Chris. I think it's afternoon for you, so good afternoon. Nice to be here with you. Thank you so much for inviting me to your show.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me start this broadcast with you, since you are here and I understand you have some other things to rush out and take care. Tell Ambazonians, tell Ambazonians what this Swedish cultural conference is all about. I know you've been planning this for quite a while. What is it all about?
Well, it's called the Ambazonian European Community European Summit. So it's basically a gathering of all the Europeans, Ambazonians within Europe, and we've obviously invited people from across the world to come together, use our culture to raise funds for our people that desperately need it in Ground Zero. So it's a worldwide participation, but it's been organized by the European country heads. The European country coordinators are organizing it, and the Scandinavia are actually hosting us this time. Yeah, so the whole idea about this event is to show the world at large and speak to our people on Ground Zero that we actually do have them at heart, that we are thinking about them, and we have their best interests at heart, and we are trying to do everything that we can to make sure that we meet their needs. So the theme of the event, as you might already have seen in so many different places, it's Ground Zero at heart, because that's what it is. Everything that we do is centered around
Ground Zero at heart. So at the end of the day, what do you want to achieve for Ground Zero?
We want to achieve some economic viability to meet their needs, basically. I can't say it any more bluntly than that. So we want to raise as much money as possible for all the 13 counties, because money is desperately needed. They need it. It's not a lie. They cannot do anything without the money, and we are best placed to help them. So that's what we're doing. The European country coordinators believe that the dignity of our people is paramount, and we can't sit by and watch them continue to suffer and do nothing. So we've decided to do something about it. We've decided to put on this event which will involve all the stakeholders within the revolution coming to join us and discuss some of the pertinent issues that we're facing right now and to seek some solutions for the way forward, whilst also using our culture to um, to educate the Scandinavian community and all the other guests that we've invited, educate them on our plight, tell them what we think, how we feel about it, what we would like, because really we need to raise awareness. Though we have been out on many protests in London, in different parts of the world, we just can't do enough.
So essentially, this is a European affair and not just the Scandinavian community affair.
Correct, absolutely correct. So I'm the chair lady for Europe, for the European country coordinators. So the whole team is behind this. The whole team is organizing this event. It just so happens
You
that
look too small to be a chair lady. You look like a teenager.
you don't hear Oroko Pepe, no be so.
Oh, okay, okay. So it should
Okay,
be
yeah.
some small
So
pepper,
size
I
doesn't
guess.
matter.
Upon all those
Of
men in
course,
Europe, you, that small girl I'm seeing, is the chair lady in Europe. Okay, go ahead.
yes, yes. What do they say? So all good things come in small packages, right?
Absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
you're right.
Yes,
Uh,
diamonds.
all right, ladies and gentlemen,
So we have a,
ladies and gentlemen,
go ahead, Secretary.
the graphics you find on the screen is projecting or advertising the Donga Mantung special fundraiser on November the 2nd. But we are right now with Lady Marienta, the chair lady for Europe, talking about this very special, important conference or convention coming up in Sweden for all Europeans and including even those in Asia and in America. I am going to be there. I look forward to seeing all of you in Europe and in the Scandinavia this coming weekend. I am going to be there. So again, how much are you looking forward to raising at this event? 1 million?
That would be wonderful, Secretary Chris. We have no limit. We would like to raise as much money as possible because we need to remember that Christmas is around the corner. So it's not just fundraising for a quick fix solution. We need to think about sustainability. We need to plan. We are thinking about. We're planning ahead. We are trying to make sure that we're prepared to meet the needs of our people, and not just now, but for Christmas and after Christmas. And consequently, as we move forward, we need to be more organized. We need to be planning to meet their needs. They shouldn't be so desperate that they have to call so many times to ask for things.
Now, is this something that you are doing from country to country in Europe? Because I know only about, is it probably a little about a month ago or 2 months ago, we were in London. And now we are going to Sweden. Is this something you are taking around Europe or what?
Yes, Secretary Chris. So we tried it out first in the UK, and it was a pleasure having you here in London that time. The fundraising was amazing.
It was
So
beautiful. It
the
was
concept is,
amazing.
it was. So we're hoping that we can replicate and do better in Stockholm this weekend. Um, and eventually we will try this out in different countries within Europe. So this quarter, this time we're having this European summit in Sweden, because after all, you do realize that we have been to Italy, we've had our European summit in Italy, we've had
Right.
it in Germany. So now it's time for a Scandinavian country to host us. So it's Sweden. We'll have to think of somewhere else later on, maybe Austria, you never know. We'll keep you posted.
Right, and I think it is such inspiration that all Amazonian communities, not just in Europe, even in the USA, just imagine if, because one thing I know, I've been told that these coming together is to raise funds to support Ground Zero. In fact, to help all the counties, am I correct?
That's absolutely correct,
And
Secretary
because that
Chris.
was
Yes.
exactly what you
So,
did with the event in London.
that's right. Yes.
And I'm thinking,
Um,
just imagine if this inspiration can go around, especially in the USA. You have all these mega cities in the US with lots of Amazonians talking about Maryland, Washington, D.C. area, talking about Texas, talking about Boston, Ohio, Chicago, all those. Just imagine if Amazonians were just taking the initiative and organizing this event and supporting Ground Zero. I think it will go a long way to help the boys meet their goals. So, I hope that Ambazonians will turn up, will show up at this event in Sweden. Again, I am going to be there. The acting president will be there, and we just want to make sure that every Ambazonian in Scandinavia, and the rest of Europe show up in Sweden. Let us celebrate Ambazonia and bring our pockets together to support those who are on ground zero. Is there a special appeal, a very special appeal you would love to make before you go?
yes, please, Secretary Chris. Absolutely. We do realize that for some people it's nearly impossible to attend the event, and that's completely understandable. So my appeal is that for if you find yourself in a situation where you cannot travel, we would all, on behalf of all the European country coordinators, would like to plead with everyone that please, you find the messages going around, there are flyers going around with some payment details there, you've got Cash App details, you've got PayPal details, please make a small contribution. It doesn't matter how much it is. You might think that it's only £10 or €10. It makes a difference. Please, if every single Amazonian all across the world watching this right now, watching later on, just puts in €10 or $10. Of course, you can put in more. The more, the better for us. Obviously, the more, the better for Ground Zero. We would actually be moving mountains. We have to come together. You know, Secretary Chris, ants. You've seen when ants work together. We might think that we are tiny, we haven't got much, but when we all come together, like the ants colonies, they can move mountains. They
Absolutely.
move massive pieces of material about more than 100 times their weight, their own body weight. So we can do it too. Why not? If organisms within our ecosystems are able to do that, we should learn from them. Amazonians are no different, and it's all about survival. We have to come together to survive. We have to come together to help our people on Ground Zero.
Now, before you go, can you briefly give us a rundown of the event on Saturday?
Certainly, Secretary Chris. So can I start from Friday, please? Friday,
Sure.
the event actually starts on
On
Friday.
Friday, okay.
Friday, the 25th of October. So we will have a welcoming reception and a European summit where all the stakeholders will sit down. We will have discussions on some of the pertinent issues that we face, and we would put our ideas together to come up with some resolutions that will help us work more collaboratively with
That's
each
on
other
Friday.
and make things happen. That's on Friday, so
What
yes.
time would that be?
And it's from 7 p.m. Amber time.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
Saturday.
Um, and then the next day, Saturday, we will start with a Say No to Genocide protest march at 10 a.m. And that would take place for about 2 hours. And then we'll move on to the hall where we'll hold some workshops. Those workshops will involve, some of that will involve educating people on how to register onto the CID. We'll have workshops on different elements that we think are vital to the survival of this revolution. Um, Later on, we will then have a presentation from HD and a question and answer session, like we did in London.
That is the
And
Center for Humanitarian Dialogue, the Swiss NGO, correct?
That's correct. Absolutely
And I
correct.
think that
So there
is
will be
very, and
involved.
I think that is very, very important, because I think it is good that Amazonians turn out and get this information firsthand from this Swiss organization that is leading the mediation between La Republique and Amazonia. For all of you in Europe, you want to get the information firsthand. That is where you want to be, in Sweden, where you can listen to these people and not have me ask questions on your behalf, but you ask them the questions that for which you want answers. Okay. So what is the rest of the program on
Absolutely.
Saturday?
Secretary Chris, before we go any further, I just want to say the show that was amazing with HJ, and I think that just whet the people's appetite
Thank you.
to see that those people are transparent. There's complete honesty, and why not come there face to face and be able to ask your questions without
Right.
any time limit? So Amazonians, I know that on social media there's been so many distractions. Come, please do come to Uppsala, Sweden, and ask these questions. There's no such thing as hearing it from somebody, seeing the person, looking at them in the face, and listening to the answer. You can decipher for yourself where the lies are coming from. The distractors that are trying to mess this up, you will be able to work out for yourself that they are truly just ridiculous distractions and you should cast them aside. Please come to Sweden because we need it. Ambazonians need to come together. We need to know exactly the right processes that need to be put in place for the negotiations to take place. It's our country. We need to negotiate. We need to empower our people. We need to empower our leadership, uh, and provide that support. If you do not turn up, then it's like you're not interested. Who should be interested? Is it the international community that should be interested? As an Amazonian, it's your place, it's your right to come and find out what's going to happen to your country. So you
All
need to
right.
seize the opportunities that are being presented to you.
All right, all right. So the event lasts through Saturday night with a gala. Am I right?
Right, so after the HD presentations, it will be time for food. We love our food. Our cuisine is
And I
just one
like
of the
fufu.
best in
And
the
I like
world.
fufu.
So
If
you
there's no
like
fufu
fufu,
there, I'm
fufu
a
and
Ghana
arrow.
man. We eat fufu morning, afternoon, and evening. So if there is no fufu there, I probably will just come for the meetings and go
There'll
home to
be
the hotel.
plenty of food. We guarantee you, Secretary Chris, there'll be plenty of food. There'll be jama jama. There'll even be ekwan. Okay, there'll be
Okay.
ekwan. There'll be kati kati, yantari, everything that you want. It will be there. So foods from all the 13 counties will be presented to all of us. And in terms of the fundraising, then because remember the objective is to use our culture to raise these funds. So there'll be the opening of the dishes fundraising strategy that we used in London. So before each dish is opened, we need to raise the funds for it. We need to dance and celebrate our culture, and we'll raise funds that way. Then we'll move on to listening to what any messages that AP, ABP, U Secretary Chris, and other our guests, our other invitees have to share with us, and then we will do some proper dancing. So please come with your dancing shoes. I know you're a good dancer, Secretary Chris.
Yeah, I'm a
So
good
make
dancer. You
sure
know that. Yeah. You saw
you
me
take
on
your
television, right?
multivitamin. I know, right? Yeah, I did. Yes. So we'll
Okay.
move on to the gala. Yes.
All right. Thank
Um,
you.
so that was to the end of Saturday. We have some activities planned for Sunday as well, Secretary Chris. So Sunday the 27th, we would like to gather as Amazonians to pray for our country. So there will be a church service on Sunday morning,
Okay, that's
where
good.
we will collectively pray for our people. We'll just submit this in God's hand and ask Him to give us the strength and the wisdom and the guidance to prosecute this revolution the best way possible, to shorten the journey, to save as many lives as possible. So that's
All
the
right.
plan. Uh,
All
and
right.
we will then conclude on that Sunday with a farewell brunch, and yeah, and just a chance for people to catch up and do some networking.
All right. Thank you very much, Lady Marianta, for showing up to take a few minutes to give Ambazonians what is in this Swedish Amber cultural convention. And ladies and gentlemen, that lady you find there, she is not a teenager, as I said, and neither is she a girl. That is a mother with how many kids?
Four children,
Four
Secretary Chris.
children, ladies and gentlemen. She isn't a teenager and she's not a kid, so she's well qualified to be the chair for Europe. All right, Lady Marienta, I'll let you go and sleep. Let me continue with this. Thanks for showing up to enlighten all of us here. God bless.
Thank you so much, Secretary Chris. Could we just share some contribution, the details for the Cash App and the PayPal, please? Please, Amazonians, we do have the flyers going around, but if you're in the USA and you would like to make a contribution, Cash App we know is usually easier for you Americans. So the Cash App number is 240 604 6236. I'll repeat, 240 604 6236. And for the PayPal, for the PayPal, you will go on to ACES 2019 Stockholm. Please be attentive. The details are on the bottom or a bottom right hand side of the flyers. When you see them on your WhatsApp forums, the Cash App and the PayPal details are just at the bottom in blue, the amber color blue. The details are there. Please help us to do the best thing for our people, for Ground Zero. Christmas is coming. They deserve a decent Christmas. Let's just try, please. Every little bit counts. Thank you so much.
All right, all right. Thank you, Lady Marianta. May you have a great night, and I look forward to seeing you over the weekend. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Lady Marianta, the chair lady for Europe. That's a country head chair lady for all of Europe. She's a little powerful lady there in London, and I just wish we have so many powerful ladies like Lady Marienta. Thank you again for that vital information. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to stay put and take a look of this. Now, I am very sure that most of you have seen the footage coming from Bamenda yesterday of the government delegate of that city. The government delegate of that city going on his knees and begging in the most hypocritic form that our brothers, our boys, lay down their arms. They lay down their arms and come to join him in the pit fence that is Bamenda. Please take a look. I am going to do some commentaries after this. Take a look.
What we do 3 years ago. For Northwest here, picking them the Muslim for whom? Feed their families. Someone then you do trading, feed their families. Someone then you go farm, feed their families. Someone then you go Nigeria, come na eucalyptus, feed their families. No way, no day now. You come up for here, even for go from Ndop, you know feel rich. You know if you go bamboo, you know if you go Fundum, you know if you go Kambe, you know if you go Boom. I beg Muna, 10 don't reach. 10 don't reach. More will put God for a heart. Forget about all these problems then. Government will solve the problems then. Even if they don't solve all, it will be enough for the treat we serve, treat human beings.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is, they call him Indumo somebody. He is the government delegate to the Bamenda so-called city council. Now, Mr. Indumo is asking our restoration forces to lay down their arms and come back home. Mr. Indumo has forgotten that he is one of the reasons for which Bamenda is in a shutdown. He is the reason for which somebody or people like Mancho, BBC, they are in Kondenge. Mr. Indumo has forgotten that it was because of the type of administration that he exercises in Bamenda that people like Mancho, BBC carry the coffin to city chemists to protest. When you go into the city of Bamenda, I was speaking to one of the mayors in that city, ladies and gentlemen, and he told me this is what is going on in Bamenda. The mayors have absolutely no income, no revenue coming to them. I'm sorry, did I say governor? The mayors have absolutely no revenue coming to them. The taxes are collected by the city government delegate. The building permits are collected by the government delegates. Every form of taxation is collected by the government delegate. But when somebody dies in the city or something happens in the city, the people they run to, the person they call, are the mayors. But the mayors have no money. And this is the same man, this government delegate in Dumo saying, oh, our people should come home. They should come and lay down their arms. Where are they going to live, sir? In that city that is like a dustbin for the inhabitants? Where are they going to? Are you going to give them jobs? Where are they going to? And I hear you say that, oh, the government is going to settle the problem. Why is the government going to settle the problem when you should have settled the problem in your own city? And why does the government have to wait until people are killed and slaughtered before they can solve the problem? Where was the government 3 years ago or before 3 years? Where was the government? The government was nowhere to be found. I am appalled and ashamed. You are despicable to suggest that restoration forces who are defending their country, defending their families, should lay down their arms, and you have no guts to call on terrorist soldiers from French Cameroon to withdraw from a territory that does not belong to them. You don't have the guts to do so. The reason why we're in this mess and asking for a return to our sovereignty is because of people like you in Dumo out there in the city of Bamenda, that you will go down on your knees and shed crocodile tears. You just want to keep on maintaining. You just want to keep the source of your income, the fraud that you are, the fraud that you perpetuate in that city, the embezzlement that you perpetuate in that city. That is all that you want. You are not kneeling down for peace. You are kneeling down to maintain impunity. That is what it's all about. Now, ladies and gentlemen, listen again.
Say, now cow we don't take them for slaughterhouse for killing. At the Bedmona, in which we have found ourselves within the past 3 years. And I do this for themselves, for them. I go on my knees and I beg on the population. I beg we brother them. We brother them for Northwest and Southwest. The killings where we don't kill, we don't people them. The suffer where we don't suffer. We begin to know to go to school. We don't burn houses. Even if now we want to.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that so-called government delegate keeps on saying, we don't kill our own children. We don't go to school. We don't do this. We don't do that. You don't hear him say, they, meaning La République du Cameroon. La République du Cameroon is the aggressor in this conflict. And when people like him are so intellectually dishonest, ladies and gentlemen, they ought not to live. Now, let me remind you, we have asked, we at the interim government have asked that we do not want to see anything like government delegates, any government delegate institutions in our country. We don't want any government delegate in Kumba. We don't want it in Bamenda. We don't want it in Victoria. We don't want it anywhere else. There is no country in the world where you find mayors and then you have government delegates. The government delegates, they steal all the money, and then they expect the mayors without money to do the work. Again, our restoration forces should take note. Nothing like divisional officers in the country called Ambazonia. Nothing like government delegates in the country called Ambazonia. Ndumo and his colleagues, your time is up. Your time is up. It is time for you to begin to pack your bags. And if you do not pack your bags and leave, ladies and gentlemen, this is a promise. We will pack him up. If you do not pack your bags and leave, we will pack you up, sir. It is shameful. It is very, very shameful what you come and kneel down, shedding crocodile tears and saying, we. How many homes have French Cameroon soldiers decimated, razed down in your own city, sir? How many homes have Amber boys, so-called, or let me put it in the proper way, restoration soldiers, have they put down any homes in your city? Have they put down a single home in your city? All the homes in your city are put down by your own soldiers. The same soldiers who are guarding you, who are protecting you, and the common man has nothing. Those are the soldiers who are burning down homes. Is there any restoration force or soldier who has killed people in the way French Cameroon soldiers are doing in your own city, Mr. Ndumo? The people who have been butchered in your city by soldiers of French Cameroon, is this being done by the restoration forces? Can you tell Ambazonians? Sir, your days are numbered in the city of Bamenda. The days of government delegates, are getting over. And I can assure you, from you in Bamenda to Mosango, is it Mosango in Victoria? I don't know who is in Kumba. I think these are the three cities in which we have government delegates. Your days are numbered. Gone are the days when lackeys, cronies like you sold the rest of the people just to keep your money, your bribes flowing into your pocket. Those days are gone. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let's take note of people like this one. When we say enablers, Ndumo is one of the biggest enabler within our midst. He is one. I don't know why he is not living in French Cameroon now. I don't know why he is still within the territory of Ambazonia. He should be out of that place. He is a big enabler. You go to the city of Bamenda, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot buy a thing and stand on the street to eat because the streets smell. You look at the streets inside Bamenda, potholes everywhere. He is carrying stones, not even sand. Stones and filling potholes. He has never fixed a half-kilometer road inside his own city. He is a shame and a disgrace to humanhood. And please, the restoration forces should take note. Restoration forces should take note. The days of Ndumo and everything so-called government delegate are over in Ambazonia, and we will make sure their lives leave our territory and they live for good. That is very important. Now, let me also add this. This is a very, very important security alert, ladies and gentlemen. This is a tactic that La République du Cameroon is trying to employ to capture and to kill our restoration forces. And if you're a restoration force member, listen to me very, very carefully and attentively. This is a new ploy that La République du Cameroon is employing. We have seen videos of certain young men dressed in La République du Cameroon military fatigue and wanting you and me to believe that they are defectees from the French Cameroon army. And they are saying they are Amber boys. They want you to come join them fight against La République du Cameroon. They want you to take them for one of you. This is a warning. If you are a restoration fighter, do not embrace anybody that you cannot identify, whom you do not know. What La République du Cameroon is doing now is trying to get their soldiers to, defect in quote, carry better weapons, put on good military gadgets, so they can meet you and tell you that they have run away. They've run away from French Cameroon army and they want to fight on your side. And before you know, they turn the gun on you. Every restoration group and camp on Ground Zero should take note. Do not embrace anybody coming from nowhere, somebody you do not know, well equipped, and telling you they are coming from they are defecting from La République du Cameroon army. That is how they want to detect your camps, detect your outposts where you hide yourself. Do not welcome anybody with who says he is defecting from French Cameroon army. Do not welcome them. They are dangerous. They are dangerous. Now, this is the second ploy, the second tactic that La République du Cameroon is trying to use to invade your camps and invade your groups. You saw, some of you have seen the Okadas, the motorbikes that French Cameroon is dishing out to so-called vigilante groups. Those motorbikes are meant to entice you. Amber restoration forces, those motorbikes, we have been told, they have tracking devices on them. They are giving those bikes to those boys with the hope that some of you restoration forces will confiscate them. And the moment you confiscate those bikes, take them to your camp with a tracking device on those motorbikes, they will use it to detect you, and before you know, early in the morning, 5 a.m., 4 a.m., they are in your camp, killing you. So please, restoration forces, listen to me. Do not be in the habit of confiscating any bike, any motorbike, or any Okada. They may have tracking devices in those motorbikes. It is very, very, very important. Do not go after those vigilante motorbikes. They have tracking devices in them. They are not given to them to walk. They are given to them so that you are susceptible, so that you go and attack them and say, hey, who are you? Vigilante what? Give me that bag. Who gave you that bag? And then seize it and then confiscate it. take it to your camp. Now the device is in there. La Republic will then use the device that is in that bike to trace where your hiding place or your camp is. So we are warning you, do not, for genuine restoration fighters, do not want to confiscate any Okada or any motorbike from any vigilante group, because their bikes are being tracked. Their bikes are being tracked. The plot again is for you to confiscate those bikes, take it to your camp, and then the tracking device in the bike will expose your camp. And before you know, like they do early in the morning, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock, they come and kill all of you. This is very, very, very important. So please do not confiscate any motorbike out there. Do not confiscate, especially from the vigilante groups. Especially from the vigilante groups, do not confiscate anything from them. It is very, very, very dangerous. Just imagine you go out and confiscate one Okada or one motorbike from a vigilante group and take it to your camp. And in your camp, there are 20 of you, there are 30 of you. With the tracking material on that bike, they pursue it to your location. They will gun down all of you. And before you know, you'll be wondering, how did they know it? You do not know that you have their tracking device within your midst. Stay away from confiscating anything like Okada, anything like motorbike. This is very, very, very important. Now, the second thing that we have also learned that La République du Cameroon is trying to do is to use women to track down Ambazonian generals and commanders. They will use women to bring gifts. Use women to bring gifts to you. They may buy a wristwatch, a hand watch, give it to a woman to take it to you like a birthday gift, like an appreciation. They may buy now that thing that the lady or the woman will bring to you would have to be something that you carry all over the place, something you have on your body, because they want to make sure that they can track you wherever you go. So we have learned that what they want to do, especially for the stubborn generals and commanders, they have not been able to lay hands on. They are planning to use women. And those women will be women who are closer to you. They will use them, buy gifts, give it to them to take it to you. Then they will be tracking devices in those gifts. So, if you are a general out there, you are a commander out there, be very, very, very careful from whom you are accepting a gift. Be very, very, very picky. Who is giving you what? Ladies and gentlemen, even from the diaspora, because they have agents in the diaspora. I remember the camp that was attacked in Chomba. A camp that was attacked in Chomba probably about 6 months or more ago. One of them, I knew one of them very well. Those boys were being tracked all the way from the USA. La République Intelligence used somebody in the USA who was communicating with the leader of this camp on Ground Zero. He was sending them gifts. He was sending them money. And then they got into long conversations because he had created that rapport between themselves to the extent he was sending money and sending them gifts. The day that La République went and attacked them and gunned down those boys in Chomba, this guy was literally on the phone directing La République soldiers how to get to that location. Because the boys had described to this guy in the US exactly where they were in Chumba. So do not sit there in your camp, in your hideout, and you are talking with anybody in the diaspora and thinking that, oh, he is in the diaspora, he cannot do anything, he cannot harm me. No. La République is planting agents in the diaspora, and the agents in the diaspora will pretend to be supporting what you are doing there. They will pretend to be your supporters, to be your friends. They may buy gifts and send to you, but those gifts will have tracking devices. So please, We don't want you to fight and die when we are not yet in Boya. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking to our restoration forces. We do not want you to fight and die. Anybody who dies doesn't fight anymore. So please, this is about your own security. This is about your own safety. Be very, very careful going forward. Going forward, minding whom you take gifts from. Be very, very careful minding whom you take gifts from. Who approaches even money. Even money. Even money. Be very, very careful. People should not give you money and instruct you what you should do. This is very, very important. People should not put money in your hands and instruct you on what you should do. Again, this is for your own security. This message is for our restoration fighters. The times are dangerous, and Lebialem Cameroon is trying to do everything, ladies and gentlemen, to destroy, to kill all the generals, and all the commanders, because if they should kill all the generals and all the commanders, the rest will scatter. It will be over. So please, every general and every fighter on ground zero, again, listen to me very, very, very carefully. Do not be in the habit of wanting to confiscate those Okada or motorcycles which were distributed or being distributed to all those vigilante groups. Do not confiscate any one of them. They have tracking material. You take it to your camp, it will betray your camp. Secondly, do not take any gift from your women, from your girlfriend, or even friends. Do not take any gifts from them. They may say they are appreciating you. You know what? Say thank you. When the war is over, I will appreciate your appreciation. Do not take it. Be very careful whom you are talking with in the diaspora and what they are sending to you from the diaspora. It is very, very, very important, because again, this is how desperate Lebialem Cameroon has gone to track you, the fighters, down and to kill you. And all they are trying to do in this is to make sure that they end the war and avoid going to Switzerland to sit down to negotiate with us, with Ambazonia. I hope you get this. All right. Now let me again enlighten you a little bit about this lockdown that I have been mentioning. I said here, I think three or 4 days ago, this lockdown is coming and it will be indefinite. However, we want every one of you on ground zero. I'm saying this because I keep on receiving calls that people are trying to find out the nature of it. But again, we want every one of you on ground zero to know this is a one-of-a-kind lockdown. It is not going to affect movement within our territory. Lockdown will not affect movement within our territory. During lockdown, this indefinite lockdown, if you are in Bamenda, you are able to go to Boya. You are able to go to Kumba. If you are in Victoria, you are able to go to Kuma. You are able to go to Manfe. You are able to go to Lebialem. So the lockdown will not affect movement. The lockdown will not affect business. There is only one type of business that we know, that we target. Any business of the foreign country, French Cameroon, in our territory. We don't want it there at all. And so that is our target. So during the lockdown that we are yet to announce, again, it will not affect movement, it will not affect business, it will not affect your job. This is very, very important so that people can stay calm and plan their business, plan their whatever they hope to do. But again, in the weeks to come, we will come to you with definite plans, precise plans for this lockdown. So that is as far as lockdown is concerned. Now, I want to talk a little bit. I'm coming to the major subject of the day, which is about the alert and the attack on the governor of the Northern Zone. what went on. I have the Ndop military council spokesman, whom I will be bringing in by phone to tell us what transpired between Ndop and Boy, what went on there, what happened with the attack, what happened with the governor. I am going to bring, I will be bringing him in a few minutes, so stay put. But before I get there, let me take this one last item before I get there. Now, I came here last few days and announced the launching of ABC Amber Club, ABC Amber Club. Ladies and gentlemen, this television set is not, this television is not owned by Chris Ano, unlike the one we had before, where we didn't know who owns it. This television, Amber Broadcasting Corporation, Ambazonia Broadcasting Corporation, is owned by you, the people of Ambazonia. It is just by providence that I happen to be managing it because it falls under my domain. But you own it. You own it. If ABC survives, you survive it. If ABC falls, you make it to fall. So we have launched ABC Amber Club. Many people are asking, what does it mean? How do I benefit? ABC Amber Club is not just out for you to pay money. This is very important so that people know. Everyone enrolling, whether in $5, whether with $10, $15 or $20, to be a member of ABC Amber Club, automatically by that enrollment, joining the club becomes a stakeholder in ABC. And what does it mean to be a stakeholder? What does it mean to be a stakeholder? It means when the moment comes and we are forming a board for ABC, a board that runs ABC, only people who belong to ABC Amber Club shall be selected to sit on the board of ABC. This is very, very important. So you are not just giving your money for ABC to be operated, but you will also have a say in the operations, in the content, in the management, in the editorial of ABC. So once you join ABC Club, you automatically become a member of the stakeholders, a stakeholder in ABC. Now, this is important that you know this. Some people have asked us, why can't you sell shares for ABC? We cannot sell shares for ABC because ABC is registered as a not-for-profit organization, and you know that in the USA, you cannot sell shares for a not-for-profit organization. I don't think any way you can sell shares for a not-for-profit organization. So that is very, very important that we know this. People joining the ABC Amber Club automatically become stakeholders for ABC, and we will go into that pool to select who becomes a board member of ABC when that moment comes. Also, what that also means is that occasionally we shall be having meetings together. We shall be briefing you possibly once in a month. We will get everybody together into Zoom meetings, brief everybody what is going on at ABC, and then people can come up with suggestions, what they think can be done, they think that can be changed, and so on and so forth. So this is the kind of leverage that those of you becoming members of ABC Club benefit. So I thought it is very, very important that I bring this information to you. So I want to encourage every one of you. The title here is Operation 2000 by 5. We have more than 1,000 people watching ABC right now in the diaspora. I see about 1,000, almost 1,100 on Facebook, and almost 500 on YouTube, as I see. So just imagine if all of us here would chip in $5 every month to sustain ABC. Please, we will have a TV at the BBC, as CNN. That is what we look forward to having ABC to be. We need to get a professional studio for ABC. And not only that, the bills also have to be paid. The satellite bills have to be paid. Ladies and gentlemen, I have explained here before, we are paying close to $9,000 on satellite bills every month. Those who thought ABC was not important, I think by now they would have seen the importance that a medium of communication like this one plays in a revolution like ours. So please, I want to appeal to all of you, go on the website abcambertv.org or .com. Again, abcambertv.com or .org. Go there, please. Go there and enroll. It will not take you up to 5 minutes to enroll. I have seen so many people have enrolled already, and they are sharing their receipts on Facebook and encouraging their friends to do so. Please, I want to encourage you to do so also. When you enroll, share your receipt so that your friends who want to do it but maybe they've forgotten can see it and go and enroll. It will not take you more than 5 minutes to be able to enroll at the website that you have on your screen, www.abcambertv.org. Once you get on the website, hit on the link, Operation 2000 by 5, and it will take you to the subscription page. And again, it won't take you up to 5 minutes to be able to register. By this time next week, let's get 2,000 people sign up to become stakeholders of ABC. Now, I'm going to take a brief break out. I will leave you with this government delegate again, and I will take a brief break out to bring in my next guest, who will be speaking to us about what happened in Ndop with the colonial governor, Lebialem, and others who were sent to an early hell a few days ago. Please stay tuned.
I beg Muna, stand on reach.
While you are watching, you can just right now watch to Facebook and to the ABC Facebook page.
Government will solve the problem then.
Please
Even if they don't solve
register, subscribe,
it will
while I bring
be
in
enough for
our
we,
guests.
for the
Please.
treat we serve, treat human beings.
Okay.
Let's say, now cow we don't take them for slaughterhouse for kill them. At the beg Muna, in which we have found ourselves within the past 3 years. And I do this for themselves, for them. I go on my knees and I beg on the population. I beg we brother them. We brother them for Northwest and Southwest. The killings when we don't kill, we own people then. The suffer when we don't suffer. We begin to know to go to school. We don't burn houses. Even if now what it don't vex we. More think about ourselves as human beings. We never know of any people where they don't get problem, but we never see any people the way for solve their problem. You take a human being, your own brother, your own sister, cut his neck, kill him like animal, and beg Muna with tears on behalf of the population. We be very hard-working people. We don't know what way don't happen with we. But any problem when we get them, we feel solve them. Not the one way we get to kidnap, we get to torture, we get to extort, we get to kill, we get to burn, we get to prevent school picking them from going to school. I beg It don't vex we. More think about ourselves as human beings. We never know of any people where they don't get problem, but we never see any people the way for solve their problem. You take a human being, your own brother.
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I was muted. I was speaking to myself. But again, I want us to get back to the main story of the day. The alert for Ndop, for Boy, and for Lebialem. If you have been on the social media lately, you saw the information circulating, making the rounds about the attack and the death of the colonial governor in the northern zone, that stemming from the event that took place in Ndop a few days ago. Many people are not aware of exactly what transpired at Ndop. Now, I have with me the spokesman for Ingo Ketunjia. I think he's also the chairman. Comrade, you are the chairman or the spokesman?
Good afternoon, Secretary Chris. My name is Comrade Langmi Nestor. I am the defense chief of Ingo Ketunjia Self-Defense Council.
Okay.
I am the spokesperson of the Ambazonia National Self-Defense Council.
Ingo, you are the defense chief of Ingo Ketunjia Self-Defense Council.
Yes, sir.
And you are also the spokesperson for
the Ambazonian National Self-Defense Council.
That's the NSC.
Yes, sir.
All right. Wonderful. Now, we have heard a lot of different versions of what happened in Ndop. That was it 2 days ago?
Yes, sir. What actually happened started on the 17th, October 17, 2019.
Okay.
And since then to October 20, 2019, Ketunjia Self-Defense Council, a joint mission with Bui County warriors, have had six successful attacks against the colonial governor of La République du Cameroon convoy.
Six successful attacks.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what happened? Go ahead and just narrate the story as you know it.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to Comrade Langmi Nestor, the Ingo Ketunjia Self-Defense Council chairman. I want to give this official report to make clarification on what has been going on social media. From off the bat, I want every Ambazonian to know that we of the Ingo Ketunjia Self-Defense Council, we are not after social media credit. Our ultimate goal is to see Ambazonia free. We know we had a lot of version online about what happened, but I am here today to make clarification on what actually happened. The Ingo Ketunjia Self-Defense Council was given a reliable intelligence on October 10, 2004, October 14, 2019, about the installation of a newly appointed senior divisional officer.
No, we call them colonial officers.
Yeah, colonial officer. Thank you, Secretary Chris, for that correction. So we got this intelligence that a son of Ingo Ketunjia will be installed in Ingo Ketunjia Bamunka precisely as the senior divisional colonial officer. And we alerted our able and capable self-defense forces about this intelligence. And as usual, Kutunja self-defense forces are always ready day and night. And we were waiting for this occasion to come because prior to this date, we have made it clear that Kutunja County is a no-go zone for the colonial governor of the Northern Zone and all the administrators from La Republic to Cameroon. So we have been waiting for this occasion to come so that we can finally give a final blow to this colonial officer. And as you all can read from social media, we had all our materials ready for this special occasion. And on the eve of October 17, 2019, we gathered the information that the governor will be coming in the next morning or that night. We informed the elite team of Jaguar, the Ambazonian brigade.
You don't need to call locations, just go ahead and tell them who was involved. Yes.
Yeah, the Jaguar in Gokutunja. We have a brigade in Gokutunja that is called Jaguar. The Jaguar.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's the name. All right.
Yeah, we have our well-trained snipers that shoot and never misses. So we told them about the task of taking down the governor. It was a specific task to take down the governor. There was no room for error in that particular operation. As they approached Ngokutunja from Sabga Hill at around 10 a.m. Amber time, our forces at that point were very, very difficult for them to penetrate. So there was intensive shooting there, and the governor's convoy was not able to get into Ngokutunja, and they make a U-turn.
Was the governor in the convoy at all? Because there are some reports that he flew in by helicopter.
At that point, we never knew he was in the convoy or not. But after they make a U-turn, we expected to have no installation in Ngokutunja. It was after we saw a scanty installation ceremony that we begin to wonder what happened. How did they cross to Bamunka, Ndop Center, while we have made them to return at the hill of Sabga? It is at that moment that we were told the governor flew overnight to Ndop. Actually, he went to Ndawara ranch, and the next day he traveled by land to Ndop, where he gathered few of his executives, few of his colleagues, and they staged that installation ceremony that we all saw as how it was so scanty.
So that is to say that, hold on, so that is to say that he wasn't actually in the convoy that turned back at Sabga?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, did the installation take place that same day that the convoy was forced to turn back, or it took place another day?
Well, let me back up a little bit, because after in that shooting, you all saw what happened. Our sniper took down few La Republic terrorists, and you saw where the bullet got through the skull of one of La Republic terrorists.
That's at Sabga. That happened at Sabga too?
At Sabga, that same day, that same October 17.
Okay.
And they were not able to penetrate, and they went back. So the installation ceremony was delayed because of that incident, according to our sources, because the installation took place, it was due to take place by 11 a.m., but finally they had that scanty ceremony at about 2 p.m. Amber time.
The same day?
The the same day.
So when this first incident took place at Sabga, did your boys leave the area or they stayed there? And if they stayed there, how come they turned back to carry out the installation?
Well, that's what I'm saying. After they turned back and we saw the installation took place, that is when our intelligence came in that the governor flew in the previous night.
Okay.
But our forces were still on the spot. It was rather unfortunate that we lose one of our snipers there, but we were up to the task at that point to not let any fly to come into Gokutunja.
That is after you had learned that he flew in the previous evening.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, so they had a scanty.
So let's get this right. So the convoy that was attacked earlier in the day, the governor wasn't part of that convoy. He had already flown. He had already flown in, and he was already somewhere in Ndop.
That's right.
Okay. So then, after the initial attack at Sabga, you guys learned the governor was already in Ndop.
That's right.
Okay. So go ahead.
So after Sabga, we had other contingent that were just waiting for the governor, if at all, our sniper team at the hill of Sabga may have missed him. So all our contingent were in this location waiting for the governor because we have given them very specific instruction not to let any vehicle cross that spot. And they were determined to take that, to execute that task as instructed. So it was late at night that after the installation of the senior divisional colonial officer in Gokutunja, that the governor proceeded to Bui County. And it should be noted that the Bui warriors, headed by our field marshal, Chacha, was also in the contingent somewhere in Gokutunja. I am not going to disclose the location because that location has been marked as a deadly spot, as a death trap for La République du Cameroon terrorists, and we are sure that they are going to find their Waterloo on that spot. So Field Marshal Sacha was also on that spot waiting, and his team from Bui, because we have a joint mission with Bui County, because I called the commander of Bui County, who is Commander Evis, and told him that the governor was going to have the installation in Gokutunja, and he was going to proceed to Bui County. So there's no need for him to wait for another attack in Bui, to launch another attack in Bui. He should rather rally his team so that we should show the Amazonian people the importance of teamwork to stop this governor at the hill of Sabga.
Now tell me, how far is it from Bui to Ndop Center?
From Bui to Ndop Center is about 40 kilometers.
About 40 kilometers. So which means, at a phone call, they could easily rush from Bui to give you backup in Ndop.
No, I am not going to disclose that to you, Secretary Chris, because we have a very disciplined way we operate in that area.
Okay, awesome.
We know how we put our guys together.
Okay.
Instantly, if there's need for them to do so.
Yeah.
But they move very quickly, and they can execute very perfectly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after the installation, the installation in Ndop, Lebialem left Ndop and was heading for Bui, correct?
Yep.
So where was his convoy attacked? On the way to Bui or in Sabga?
No, when we realized that he has sneaked into Ngokutunja without our knowledge. We had a plan B to get him down. So we told our forces not to show any resistance between Ndop Center to Bui, because we knew on his way back we were going to get him. But guess what? Chacha has to leave. He told us that he's going to meet him in Bui County, and he left with his team to Bui County, and they equally took a very, very devastating attack on the governor convoys in Bui the next day. And we also saw the type of installation that they have in Bui County. It was not as magnificent as they used to have before during the old days of the colonial administration. It should be noted that the entire land of Ngokutunja and Bui is governed by the Ambazonia Restoration Forces and the War Council that we have all put in place to take care of situations that are arising in our community. So the colonial administrators have no authority over our land. So Field Marshal traveled overnight with his team back to Bui to launch the attack that we heard that also took down the life of some of the terrorist soldiers in Bui County.
Now, there were rumors all over the social media that the governor was killed. That is, I want to say categorically that he wasn't killed. In fact, yesterday in Bamenda, right there at the Commercial Avenue, he was presiding over another installation ceremony. In fact, that is where Ndumo was making the statement that he made yesterday. That is where Ndumo was making his statement of yesterday. So, initially that rumor went out that he was killed. How did you find out he wasn't? Because I actually spoke with somebody in Bamenda today, one of the administrators there, who told me, no, that wasn't true, because they saw him in Bamenda at the Commercial Avenue installing the SDO from Mezam. The only thing that I observed, and that this man said to me, is the governor did not go for the reception at Ayaba Hotel. That everybody went for the reception, but for the governor, he didn't go for the reception. So, how did you come to find out that he was not in the convoy that was attacked? Or because I don't think he escaped it, though.
Well, Secretary Chris, let me take you back to Bui County, where he did the installation of the senior divisional colonial officer there, and he left from Bui, from Kumbu, coming back towards Yakiri. And we have a very solid, intelligent team that work with us, and they told us that in Ngokutunja that the colonial governor is coming back, going back to Bamenda after the installation. And we immediately dispatched the information to our able restoration commanders in Ngokutunja. But guess what? As you know, this governor always sneak around. He don't move around freely. He moved in armored cars. He came all the way from Kumu to Jakiri. Jakiri is almost the closest town that when you leave Ngokutunja, heading towards Bui County to get yourself into. That is Jakiri. And when they got to Jakiri, they stopped and make a U-turn and went back to Donga Mountain County. It's precisely in Kambe. That's where you saw this ceremony where they were handing new bikes to some imposters who call themselves to be traditional heads. We know those guys are imposters. They are not our traditional heads, because we all from Amazonia, we know very well that our traditional heads are never guided by military officers.
Right.
Our traditional heads move in their land with confidence. They move in their land with all the belief that their protection is from the people.
But then, if more to that, would the local people not be able to identify their traditional heads? I mean, don't they know them?
Well, I am not here to to say whether they know those guys or not, but I know those guys, those traditional head were not the true traditional head of that locality. From the intelligence we gathered later.
Okay.
But that was on the 18th, which is that Friday. That they went and did that occasion. No, it was on the 17th. Please, pardon for that error.
Okay.
And they had to come back on their way back now. But before then, there is this convoy that left Ndawara ranch to come into Ngokutunja. So when they sneak at us and return from Jakiri back to Donga Mountain, whereas we have instructed our guys to shoot them and not to miss them. We had this convoy that left Ndawara coming into Ngokutunja, and the special forces, the Ngokutunja have special forces trained to delete, trained not to miss their target. As they left Ndawara coming down into Ngokutunja, these special forces thought that was the governor's convoy, and they gave them a very, very devastating attack, and one armor car was destroyed. The number of casualties was very enormous.
Yeah, we learned that there are reports that there were at least 7 terrorist soldiers of French Cameroon guarding the governor that were deleted.
Well, the attack I'm talking about was not even the governor's convoy at that point. Like I
okay.
said, it was
it was a whole different one.
Yeah, it was from Ndawara.
Okay.
Our soldiers, our special forces, somewhere in Ngokutunja thought that was the governor's convoy, and they gave them a very devastating blow. And after that incident, I tried to reach out to the special forces commander. I was not able to reach him on phone, but luckily in 30 minutes time, he called me to give me the official report of what happened. And he told me categorically, which I equally added the chairman of the Babisi local government to bear me witness of the figure that he was giving, because he told us that the number of La Republic terrorist soldiers deleted that afternoon was 15 to 24 of them.
Wow. How many trucks were there? Were they all in a single truck? Or?
There were two pickup trucks. There were 2 pickup trucks. In fact, the guy that did that action was wondering, could that be the governor's convoy on pickup trucks? But because we have instructed them not to let anything pass along that area, they decided to take the 2 pickup. There was actually 4 pickup trucks, but they took down 2 of them.
Okay.
And the number of casualties was about 15 to 24 of La Republic terrorists that were deleted.
Okay. I want to say that you guys in Ngokutunja are doing exactly what the interim government wants the restoration forces to do. We have made it very, very, very clear. We do not want any more colonial administrators anywhere in Ambazonia. And if they do not leave, what happened in Bamenda with the attempted deletion of this governor, and also what happened in Lebialem with the attempted deletion of Bilai or Kalia, and all the colonial SDOs and their government delegates, we have given specific instructions. They are no longer welcome in our territory, and those asking our boys to lay down their arms, I can assure you, they will never lay down a single arm until every governor is gone, every colonial SDO is gone, every government delegate is gone. And of course, every mayor pushing the agenda of French Cameroon, they will all be gone. That is a mission that we are embarked upon now. Now, comrade, let me ask you, what is Kitunja is one of the county that has been very, they have carried on, I mean, a lot of discipline among the fighters in Kitunja. You don't hear so much of abductions and ransom takings and infighting. You don't hear it there. What is the secret going on there?
Well, Secretary Chris, before we get to that, are you interested to get the whole story about how the convoy was actually attacked on the 20th of October 2019?
Oh, I thought you were done narrating that. Okay, just brush it. Let's get into other subject.
Yeah. So when they left Cambe after giving bike with tracking devices to some impostor who call themselves traditional heads, they were headed back to Kutunja, and that is where we gathered the clear intelligence that they were coming back.
Oh, these impostors, so-called traditional heads, were giving tracking devices on them.
Yeah, the bike that was given to them has tracking devices. I am glad you have earlier mentioned that in your program. So all our forces...
The bikes, hold on, let our people get it. The bikes, the motorbikes given to these impostors, so-called traditional heads, were giving tracking devices.
Those bikes.
Yes.
Let me say this. Those bikes that were given to those impostors has tracking devices.
Okay.
Let me repeat this in our pidgin. That bike where they gear for those impostors from Donga Mountain and elsewhere in Amazonia has tracking devices. Our restoration forces, they're gonna take note and don't tamper with those bikes. Each time you seize them, we have instructed our forces in Kutunja to seize them and burn them, set them ablaze, so that we don't have anything to deal with any tracking.
Correct. So the so-called chiefs were given tracking devices, and then what happened?
Yeah, the governor was heading back to Bamenda, thinking that he was going to have a free ride across Kutunja. That is when they got the big blow of the day, because as they were heading, they had some attacks in Bui County, which was equally successful. I'm sure Commander Avis can be able to elaborate on that next time you have him on your program.
Yeah.
But when they head into Kutunja, we have told the guys that, remember, we have made Kutunja a no-go zone for this colonial administrator, governor. Don't let him pass across Kutunja back to Bamenda. And when they head towards a spot in Kutunja, I'm not going to mention the location here for security reason. We have popcorn that were all aligned. They were all put along our street, and we wanted the governor to eat some of the popcorn. And the first popcorn popped up, and we almost missed the target. And the second popcorn is where the governor heard the loudest noise that he have ever heard in his life. So when they got to the second popcorn, we had some road blockage, and few of the criminals stepped down to try to clear the road, and they were swiftly deleted by our elite forces. On that spot. Then, with a specific timing, this guy puffed the popcorn, and that is when it took almost 2 armor cars and a lot of terrorists brought down. At that point, we thought the governor was among those.
No, this was happening during the day or at night?
During the day.
Okay.
Remember, the Kutunja forces strike during the day and during the night. They strike almost all the time. They strike on sea. We have a marine force in one of our villages. The marine force can strike anytime. We have the mountain tigers. They strike any time of the day. We have the vampire. They strike any time of the day.
Wow, you guys are very structured, huh?
Yeah, we are well structured.
Okay.
We have the black warriors, they strike any time of the day. We have the black mambas, they strike any time of the day. So this is a warning sign to all administrators of La Republic du Cameroon, to the colonial governor, that Kutunja is a no-go zone for him. I am learning Bia is planning to launch an air raid on Kutunja, Bui County and Lebialem. But I want to assure our population, I want to assure all Ambazonians that Kutunja, Bui County and all of Ambazonia are capable and able. Bia has been threatening Ambazonia with this air raid forever. We have been waiting for that occasion to come to tell Bia that our resolve to be free will not be deterred by any of such threats. Let him come with an airstrike, we will face him. Let him come by sea, we are going to face him. Let him come by land, we are going to face him. For that, take my word for it. So when the governor's convoy got into Kutunja and this thing happened, the smoke that got up from that place, from the popcorn, was unable for our guys to actually determine if actually the governor was among those that were deleted that afternoon.
Okay.
So a report came that I spoke with the spokesperson of the Mountain Tigers, and he told me that they have given a very big blow to the governor. In fact, it was like a Waterloo, and we suspected that Mr. Lafik Lele, the blood-sucking demon in the northern zone, was deleted. But after the ceremony of yesterday, we saw that he was not. He missed that. He was lucky to not have been deleted by our guys. But we promised that was a sound warning for him, and we promised next time he stepped his feet.
Okay. Many of these things happen, and you see some fringe groups going on the social media and claiming claiming responsibility that they did it. We saw it in this case where this guy, popularly known as an oil dealer, and his surrogates were online claiming they did it. I mean, what do you say in situations like that?
Secretary Chris, thank you so much for asking that question, and I want every Ambazonian to listen and to listen very well. We are in a quest to get our land free so that our people can enjoy basic freedom. This is not a race for ADF. This is not a race for any other social media group that is fond of destruction. This is all about our independence. And we are calling on every Ambazonian. I'm not going to sit here and be talking about this destruction and be talking about fighting, but I want every Ambazonian to know that we all have the responsibility to free our land, to let our people free. When this thing happened, we haven't come out yet with an official report, although as member of the Ambazonian National Self-Defense Council, I get a brief report to the forum or to the council about what happened in Kutunja, and I made a public statement that we have given a blow to the colonial convoy. We don't know whether the governor is deleted or not, but this is what happened. We never went online to claim responsibility because we have told our forces. Our forces knows that the ultimate goal is to get to Buya. It's not about announcing on social media of taking credit for something that we have done. We have not, even if we have deleted the colonial government, that is not our goal. Even if we delete dictator Pobia today, that is not our goal. You will not see in Kutunja Self-Defense Council go on social media to claim responsibility or to take credit. Our only credit is to see our children go back to school. Our only credit is to see that our parents are able to live in their home without any harassment from La Republic du Cameroon. So when these social media warriors went online and be taking credit, those are the type of things that we have tried so much to avoid in Kutunja. If you don't know, Secretary Chris, and if any other person doesn't know, Kutunja is made up of 13 villages with 13 languages. So
how many local governments?
3 local governments.
And how many do you have? Only one defense force in Ngokotinja, or you have variety?
We have one defense force under the Ngokotinja Self-Defense Council.
Okay.
But we have 13 barracks. That is why it is so difficult for any criminal from the Republic of Cameroon to tamper on in any of the villages in Ngokotunja, because all the forces from all the 13 barracks in Ngokotunja are deadly and combat ready all the time, day and night, 24/7. So when these guys go online to take credit, we are not going to sit here and argue with them. We have a very difficult task to free our people. We are not going to be distracted by that. But what we have let everyone knows is that Ngokutunja is one and indivisible. All the forces from all the 13 barracks in all the 13 villages in Ngokutunja know that they pay at least 99% of their allegiance to the Ngokutunja Self-Defense Council, who is answerable to the interim government, the one and indivisible interim government that Amazonians are aligning to. So,
all right.
When we hear of information that this group is taking responsibility, we just laugh at, because as I was talking to my chairman, Chairman Frank, and some of the executives like our able spokesperson Lukong, and the chairman of Babisi local government Amos, Ndop Center local government Chairman Claude, and Balikuma Chairman Babi. When we lost one of our elite force few days ago in a situation that happened in the Bafanji, a very, very unfortunate situation, we never heard from all these social media warriors to come out and sympathize with us in Ngokutunja. If you go to my WhatsApp account, my profile picture is the picture of one of our elite forces. In fact, the special forces that he has carried a lot of mission that is deadly and very successful. So when this guy was killed by civilian influenced by La République du Cameroon politicians.
That is not, you're not talking about Tony, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about Tony.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about that. Thank you for calling out his name. Commandant Tony, may his soul rest in perfect peace.
Yes.
When Commandant Tony passed away, we never heard from all the social media warriors coming to Ngokutunja to sympathize with us. When this guy, we lost one elite fighters and the Jaguar in the barrack called Jaguar, we have not heard people coming out to say Ngokutunja sorry. When the governor was narrowly missed in one of our barracks by the Black Mountain, as he was heading, they had series of attacks all along that stretch. When they got to where the Jaguar were, we had one of our cops lying on the street. From that 17, that they had that sniper did that good job against La Republic. We had one of our fighters lying on that street for 3 days because La Republique du Cameroon criminals were taking guard over his corpse, and there was no way for us to recover that corpse. We never heard people came to Ngokutunja to sympathize with us. But when we take actions that will take us closer to Boya, you hear people come on board to take credit. I think that is a disservice to ourselves, disservice to our nation, and that is deception that we all are fighting to run away from La Republic of Cameroon. It is time we should be honest to ourselves and know that Thomas Jefferson and all the liberation fighters in America came together to fight for America to be free, and that is why me and many other Amazonians living in America are enjoying today. So if we are going to go by this divisive nature to be taking credit for things that we haven't done, we have a long way to go, Secretary Chris.
Well, I don't think we will allow that to continue. We either fight together, the forces either fight together, or the good ones take out the bad ones. That is what I believe. They either fight together, and fighting together doesn't mean owning the same camps. I mean, doing exactly what the Bui Tigers, or the Tigers, they did, coming to back you up in Ngor Ketunjia. That is what it means, fighting together. Understanding that the mission is the same. Not sitting on internet and taking credit for things that they do not do. I think that is what it takes to, that is what it is going to take to win this war. And I think you guys in Ndop and Bui, that is a wonderful example that is being said there. Now, I don't have much time left. I would like to talk about some other things before I call it a day. You have anything else to share with us before you leave?
Well, clearly, Secretary Crazy, you can allow me to come in to let the people of Ambazonia know that Ngokutunja is one and indivisible, and we are calling on all the sons and daughters of Ngokutunja to come on board to support this struggle so we can get to the logical end of it. In Ngokutunja, my fellow brothers and sisters from Ngokutunja all across the world, you all know that we have no kidnapping, we have no ransom taking in Ngokutunja, we have no molestation in Ngokutunja, we have no extrajudicial killings in Ngokutunja, we have no destruction of our palaces, no desecration of our palaces. We are all bonded together. We want everyone to come on board. We have instituted the War Council that is taking care of situations like land dispute and family matters. We have instructed our forces not to get themselves involved into any judgment of civilian cases. And on that note, we have also instituted the Community Development Levy. Before the war, we have this Community Development Levy. And during this war, the Community Development Levy continues. Every son and daughter, male will pay 3,000 francs CFA and female will pay 2,000 francs CFA. And everyone is expected to make this payment to the Ngokutunja.
Is that a yearly levy, or the 3,000 is monthly?
Well, no, it is in a period of 3 months. You have to make this payment so that you can keep your recognition as sons and daughters of Ngokutunja current.
That include those on ground zero.
This specific amount is just for those on ground zero.
Okay.
For those in Europe and in the Western world, we have $50 monthly payment for all the sons and daughters of Ngokutunja. We also have other humanitarian financial needs that if you touch base with our financial team, they are going to make clarification on that. The payment system for those in the diaspora, for Cash App number, the number is +1 715 497 8588. The number again is +1 715 497 8588. And if you want to pay by paper, the email address is ngokutunjacounty@gmail.com. This $50 levy must be paid by all our citizens in the diaspora. Now, going to ground zero, we have a special number for this payment to be made. The payment can be made directly to the commanders or to the fighters, but we have a receipt that those who pay can show proof of. So contact the payment, the county chairman Frank Chenry, and contact me, Lami Nestor, for information on how you can make your payment if you are not in the vicinity of Ngokutunja.
All right.
We have a secure payment system. So please, sons and daughters of Ngokutunja, we all love you. We are all one people. Our forces are disciplined because we have told them that unity is strength, and we are telling them the community is their force. They protect our people. Come on board to support our guys. Come on board so that we are together as one people to sing our national anthem and give praise to God. May God bless you all.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thanks, Comrade Lagme, for that detailed information there, ladies and gentlemen. That is what is happening in Ndop. That's what is happening in Ndop. I like their organization, and I just hope that other county leaders can take the cue from what is happening in Ketunjia. You do not see kidnappings there, no ransom there. The forces respect the people in the community, they protect them. And this is very, very important. I have told our restoration forces again and again and again that your first shield, your first layer of protection are the people who are in your community. If you keep on harassing them, they will be the people that will betray you, that will sell you out to enemy terrorist forces. So while you are in the community, respect yourself, respect the people, and the people will respect you. They all want to see us attain victory in this war. So that is the way to go. Ndop Ketunga, please, you need to reach out and support your community. Unfortunately, I don't have the cash app number that you put on the screen there. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, all of you in Ndop Ketunga, let's support them. That is a marvelous job that they are doing. Now, I mentioned that French Cameroon has held meetings. They have held meetings, military meetings, security meetings, to plan air attacks, air strikes on Ndop, the Ndop Ketunga area, the Bui area, targeting the camps and the residential area. Because they don't, this time, Larapoli doesn't care who they kill. So they are targeting Ndop, they are targeting Bui, they are targeting Lebialem, the locations where they believe the restoration forces are camping. But this is very important. I want you to know, if you live in Ndop, you got to be very, I don't know what we can do, but other than say, be very, very, very sensitive to your environment, because the moment they drop a bomb, you never know. You never know what happens, and you never know where they're gonna drop it. The same thing in Bui, the same thing in Lebialem. These are three places, three counties that Larapoli thinks that it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare to them. So if you live in any of this area, in Ndop Ketunga, especially if the boys are around your vicinity, in Bui, in Lebialem, be watchful, ladies and gentlemen. Be watchful any of these days. French Cameroon is so desperate, they have planned to drop bombs. I even learned that they were going to spray chemicals. I don't know whether they can do that, because even America will not use chemical weapons in any war. It is against international convention. We have learned they plotted to use chemical weapons to go and spray them. We are watching, we are looking. If they do that, that is the end for them. So, if you live in any of these counties, Lebialem, Bui, Ndop Ketunga, please watch out, take care of yourself, and be very, very, very watchful, because you never know what Larapoli is up to. Now, lastly, I also want to mention here the attack that took place in Lebialem yesterday. There is something that is happening in Lebialem that I don't think that any Lebialem son or daughter is aware. This is what is going on. Their minister serving in Larapoli, Cameroon, and their senator also serving in Larapoli, Cameroon, one of those chiefs who has abdicated his throne. They went and they met Paul Atanganji. Listen to me very, very carefully. This is breaking news, actually. The minister at Tassom and Lekunzi, they formed. They went and they met Paul Atanganji, and they told, Paul Atanganji, of course, is a colonial minister of territorial administration. They went and they met Paul Atanganji, and they said to him, the fighting, the war in the Lebialem is taking place only in Fontaine local government area. So they asked Paul Atanganji to temporarily remove the headquarters of Lebialem from Menji to Alo, where they told Paul Atanganji nothing is going on there. No fighting is going on there. The only fighting that is taking place down at the headquarters in Fontem local government. And so what is going on is they were planning to bring in the new SDO, colonial SDO for Lebialem. They were planning to bring him, to install him at Alo instead of Menji. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are from Lebialem, take note, this is what was going on. But now we know it. We are aware of it. Now, you saw the attacks in Alo yesterday. I don't know what Paul Tasson and Lekunzi will now go and tell Tanganji when they say fighting is only going on in Menji or in Fontem local government. So, but this is the plot. They were plotting to take the headquarters of Lebialem County from Menji to Alo. And who knows what's going to happen after, whether it was ever going to go back down to Menji. This was one of their plot. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot take phone calls today. I think I have taken so much time already myself. I need some water to drink. And if I don't get out of here, I can't drink water. So, but before I go, I want to remind you of these announcements. The meeting taking place in Sweden this weekend. I look forward to seeing all of you Ambazonians in Europe at the weekend. I'm going to be there. The AP going to be there. And the AVP going to be there too. Let's go there and celebrate Ambazonia. That is this weekend. Then Ndonga Mantung fundraiser, please, coming up live on ABC, on November the 2nd. And I also want to remind you, if you are in California, we are going to be in California on November the 2nd. Let's meet, let's have a date out there in California on November 2nd. But on TV, ABC TV, there will be a live fundraiser going on for the people of Ndonga Mantung. So I hope you're gonna join that. And then lastly, I wish to remind you about Amba ABC TV Club. Amba ABC TV Club. I just announced, if you were not here when I made the announcement, everyone who subscribes to ABC Amba Club becomes automatically a stakeholder of ABC. That means these are the people who will eventually be advising what goes on, what happens on this television set. These are the people from whom we will select or pick up our ABC board of directors. And these are the people who shall be holding meetings to discuss what goes on here on ABC. So please, go to the website. You have the address on your screen. Go to the website, register. You can, as little as $5 or $10 or $20. Let's make this television a BBC for Africa, a CNN for Africa. We can do it. We have gone far. Please do so and reach out to somebody. Encourage others to do so. It was a pleasure to be with you today. I'm going to take a long break before I come back to you, probably in another 1 week before I'll be able to come here, to come here live. But I want to believe that God protects all of us, and we will see it again. God bless you all, and good night.
the heat. You must let my people go, so we can rule from Cape to Cairo. You must free my people's hands, so we can rule our purpose land. I wanna know who owns the land. Who wanna know who owns the land? Okay, now listen carefully. Chinese are ruling the Chinese land. Japan is ruled by Japanese. England is governed by Englishmen. America is governed by Americans. So, Africa must be ruled by Africans. I wanna know who owns the land. We must rule from Cape to Cairo. We must rule our purpose land. I said, we wanna know who owns the land. I wanna know who owns the land. Aslan, hey, Papaslan, Papaslan, Papaslan. It must be free. Angola wants to know who owns the land. Mozambique want to know who owns the land. Namibia wants to know who owns the land. I say, Soweto wants to know who owns the land. Zimbabwe wants to know who owns the land. African freedom fighters want to know who owns the land. Purpose land. Now listen to the history. We've been here since creation. We've been here since creation. What else do I know? Since the time of sun and sun. Since the time of moon and stars. Since the time of air and sea. Since the time of men and things. We must rule from Cape to Cairo. I said, we must rule our purpose land. Purpose land. Oh! Okay now. Now I want to talk to my people. Ira Daniela, oh, I will know. Yeah, Ira Daniela, oh, I will know. Now we are the crossroad. On the Femo, Lebialem. On the Femo, Lebialem. Oh, Palimu Maya Baba. Yeah, oh, Palimu Jasu Yarako. Yeah, Palimu Tizanya Yarako. Oh,